Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? The perception of the world we live in differs from person to person. How one views life may be a unique experience for each of us, but what if you could literally see through the eyes of another? Whose eyes would you choose to look through? What would you see, and would you actually want to see it? Let us listen in to our two Malkoviches, Will and Tom, as they try to see and answer. Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is William Stark.
William Stark.
Thomas Case.
Before we go any further, I would just like to let all of our listeners know, we'll obviously tell you again before we get there, that we are going to stop season 2 at episode 50. This episode you're listening to now is episode 46.
Yeah.
So we got 4 more episodes to go, and what we're going to do is we're going to end season 2 at episode 50, and then we are going to come back with season 3 after a 2-week break. We're going to try to, change things up here a little bit and revamp
recharge the batteries, refuel the tank.
Yeah, exactly. But don't
re-sleep the body.
Yeah. Do not fear if you all of a sudden see like, oh, there's no new, dude, could you imagine? Like, no, we're going to come back. It's going to be after episode 50, there'll be a 2-week break. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come back with again. Actually, I don't know if we said if we're going to still do the two episode per week, or if we were talking about maybe trying to do just 1 episode again per week, but a little bit longer episode.
Man, I am too tired to remember this conversation. I have been up since very, very, very early.
I'm looking over at William right now, and he has very, very tired and red eyes.
And this is me on a monster.
Yeah,
I am on limited time, sir.
Yeah, I see. If he had a health bar next to his head right now, yes, it would be depleting.
I'm in critical health. I'm in critical health. I have the scarlet rot. Yeah, death is imminent.
Exactly. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, we will remind you again, probably episode 49 and 50, but just to let you know right now. And on with the question, William.
Yes.
This question actually comes from a friend of mine. He actually mentioned something like this. His name is Victor. And
well, thank you, Victor.
Yes, thank you very much.
I hope I like your question. I'm sure I will.
You will. It comes from a movie. And this movie is called Being John Malkovich.
Okay. Yes, I've seen this movie. It's been a very long time. It is a very strange movie.
Yes, it is.
Starring John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly remember... what's the premise again?
Well, the funny thing is I don't know if you could technically say it stars him, because of the fact that, like...
That's true.
It doesn't
actually star him in a way, does it? He's kind of the antagonist in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
So Cameron Diaz is in it.
I believe it, yeah. And
who's the main character? Who's the one who's going inside his head?
The guy that's going inside.
Why do I feel like it's Nicolas Cage? It's not Nicolas Cage, right?
No, I believe it is...
John Cusack?
Yes, I think it is John Cusack. Yeah, John Cusack.
What's your favorite John Cusack movie? Sorry.
You know what? I think he's in this movie called High Fidelity.
Never seen it.
I think it's him and his sister in that movie.
That's cool.
That was a really good movie, and it's kind of I haven't seen this in years, but like I just remember it being a really good movie about a guy who like is running a record shop, High Fidelity and all that stuff, and
that's what it's called.
That's what the movie's called, and like that's what the I don't remember if it might have been the name of the record shop. I can't remember.
Well, it's a good name for a record shop because Hi-Fi.
Yeah, and But I just remember that being a really good movie.
Cool.
I think John Cusack is a really good actor. I've never remember seeing him in anything that makes me think like, oh, that sucked.
He's got a pretty good track record. I can't say I've seen a lot of his movies, but I did enjoy America's Sweethearts. That's a very fucking good movie.
Did I ever see that? I don't
It's
even
with
know if I
him, Julia Roberts, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Billy Crystal's in it.
Oh, I've never
It's
seen
funny
that.
as hell. It's
Oh,
pretty
really?
good.
Dang.
I think it's pretty funny.
I'm gonna have to check it out now.
It's pretty good. It's not a movie that I think a lot of people expect I would like. He was also in a movie when he was young where I just remember there's a paper boy who needs to get paid. And he keeps not paying him, and the paper boy comes back for revenge, and
it's always $2.
Something like that. It's super funny. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah. I always forget the name of that movie too. But there's other bits and parts of that movie I remember liking.
Yeah, God, why can't I recall?
Where's my $2?
Yes, that's exactly
that. Yeah.
And then Room 1408 is a good movie that stars.
That is a good movie. I did see that. That's a good one too.
But back to Being John Malkovich.
So Being John Malkovich,
who is a very good actor, by the way. I think John Malkovich is an extraordinary actor.
My favorite John Malkovich, or my favorite movie that John Malkovich is in is what's it called? The Rounders, I think it's called.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Is it The Rounders? It's
seen
the
that
one where I think it's Matt Damon and they play poker, and he plays John Malkovich plays this like shady KGB character, right? That runs like a illegal gambling thing, I think, somewhere in New York or whatever. And it's just the way he is just I just love the way he portrays.
He loves playing assholes.
Yeah, and that's exactly how he is.
Assholes.
Yeah. And his nickname in the movie, because he's Russian, they call him KGB.
For sure. Yeah. Ever seen Burn After Reading?
Yes, I did see that one too. I think
movie.
John Malkovich is also in a movie called Red, which I really liked him too. RPD.
I never saw it, but I'm familiar.
Yeah,
it's with all the old guys,
really
right?
crazy, like a conspiracy theorist. I don't know if he used to work for like the CIA or something like that. He was like one of those type.
Okay, for sure.
But in this one, it actually starts in Being John Malkovich.
You sure you don't want to talk about Samuel L. Jackson? I'm kidding.
No, yeah, in every other movie. It actually stars John Cusack, who plays a character called Craig Schwartz, and he's an unemployed puppeteer in New York City. He reluctantly takes a job as like a filing clerk for an eccentric Dr. Lester, played by Orson Bean. But while at work, this is the part that I only really remember in the thing.
He finds a little door.
Like a hole in the wall behind a filing cabinet. And he gets very curious. And when he crawls through it, that's when it's like a portal into John Malkovich's
like
mind.
the actor John Malkovich. Not like the character he's playing. He's playing himself.
Yeah, he's playing himself.
Which is funny because he plays himself as an asshole.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious.
It's funny because the scene that I loved the most is I think was it the first time he goes in the hole is like he goes and slips into John Malkovich's conscious, right? And then you just hear this like this chomping, this chewing, and it's John Malkovich at his desk eating just this piece of toast. Like he's just literally having a coffee and a piece of toast. And that's the only things that I remembered about this movie because I haven't seen it in so long.
What happens to John Malkovich in that? Does he go in their body? He does, right?
Does he? I don't remember him ever going in their body.
He does,
I don't
right?
remember, to be honest. I said, I only remember like two.
I thought you were reading a synopsis, man.
Well, that's what the synopsis says. It says Craig discovers a portal that leads into the mind of renowned actor John Malkovich.
Okay, that's not a... Well, maybe that is a synopsis. I was looking for like a full breakdown. Hold on. You continue. I'm going to look it up.
So anyways, the question, if you couldn't figure it out by now, the question is, if you can see through the eyes of anyone in the world, who would it be?
Am I going through a little door to make this happen?
No, actually, so the way I imagine this is like you do this when you fall asleep, almost like, you're familiar with lucid dreaming, right?
Yes.
So you've probably heard of some techniques that they say to do in order to have a lucid dream. I figure it probably works, in this scenario, it'll work something like that, where you concentrate on who you wanted to like see the world through their eyes. You concentrate on them before you fall asleep, and then when you fall asleep, you slip into their.
But you're saying I can only pick one person, right?
Oh yeah. You can only pick one person.
This feels so invasive and horrible. I would not choose to do this.
I know, right?
See, because in being John Malkovich, he doesn't know what's happened.
Yeah, I don't think they can influence him. They can't do. They just see what he does.
Wait, whoa. So they're only seeing through his eyes.
I think they could only see.
No, but doesn't the main character, he does manipulate him? Because I remember Malkovich gets super pissed off about what's happening, and then remember Malkovich goes into the hole and comes out the other side, and everyone's John Malkovich. And all they say is Malkovich. Oh God, that's a tongue twister. You don't remember that?
No, I'm trying to.
That's
read
like the most iconic scene when he goes in his own hole.
I have not seen this movie.
Like he goes into the hole, and when he comes out the other side, everybody he meets, they're him, and all they say is John Malkovich. They say Malkovich.
Oh, okay.
Malkovich. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right here it says, entering it, Malkovich finds himself in a world where everyone looks like him and says only Malkovich after he is ejected. Because I guess that when he goes in there, it's like after 15 minutes or so, you get ejected.
Yeah.
After he is ejected, he demands that Craig close the portal, but Craig refuses.
That's so horrible.
I know, like
Craig's the bad guy.
Like, yeah, if you know,
that's
like,
his brain.
Yeah,
you fucking asshole.
Like it's his.
Okay,
property.
so you're saying we're going in as a silent observer, and the person which we are observing through is not aware of our presence.
Yeah, they're not aware.
This feels horrible.
Yeah, you can't influence the person that you're in, like looking through.
Do you have an answer? What's your answer?
I don't know if I should say my answer.
Whoa,
okay.
what?
Okay, because I had to. Okay, see, here's the problem.
They have to be alive, right?
Yes, they do have to be alive. Yeah. Okay. So here's the problem, because I was having a very hard time picking like a specific person, and through the parameters, that's the only way this would work. I couldn't just be like, okay, because here was my theory, and this is gonna sound so bad.
Okay, you're scaring me,
so
Tom.
morbid, because like I would never murder someone, you know what I mean? But a part of me would always want to know, like,
are video games not enough for you, Tom?
Is what?
Video games not enough for you, Tom?
Yeah, I know. Killing AI, killing NPCs is not enough. No.
Oh, boy.
No, but like, only murderers know what it's like.
Only murderers know what it's like to murder.
Right? But you would think like, I mean, I don't know, but like it wouldn't work anyway, because I don't know any murderers. I couldn't go to sleep and concentrate on, I want to go into this.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, like what about murderers that haven't been caught, right? We don't know their identities, but can you use your power to get into their heads? Man, I would never choose this, by the way. This is something I would not.
You mean you're talking about like
an uncaught serial killer?
Oh, okay. That you know is still alive, and
you don't know who he is, but like they have some sort of serial killer name. Like,
can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
The soapbox slayer. I don't know.
No, not according to the parameters.
Okay, so you have to know exactly.
Yeah, you have to know, like.
Either way, I would not choose that, because you would fuck your own self up. Like, you would do this, and then you would never
witness
do the same.
A murder.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, you wouldn't just witness it. It would be as if you were doing it. You just don't have control.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel. I don't know if I never thought about how if it would feel, or if it's just like I'm looking like.
Okay,
this is what I imagine.
Okay,
like
the movie being John Malkovich,
mm-hmm.
the experience that they have when they go inside his consciousness, it becomes almost addicting. There's multiple people fighting to try and get inside his head, because it's this idea of being able to experience a second life. Like, mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the movie explicitly says that they feel and taste and everything that he's experiencing, but I think it's implied because of how much they seem to enjoy it.
Oh, see, I didn't get I didn't think about that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like that's kind of like the whole thing in the movie. Like, do you remember the evil landlord lady who like extorts the information from John Cusack, and then she starts going in his head? And everyone's, and then the other woman he shares it with, everyone's sneaking to get inside, and then they start fighting. They start fighting over who can go inside, because they all want to do it.
Yeah,
but it keeps spitting them out. So I'm sorry, but I think we should operate under the impression that like it's a full experience. It's not so you're not looking through binoculars.
See, that's how I'm looking. That's how I'm thinking of this. You know what I mean? So you want to change the parameters?
I reject that premise, sir.
Okay. Well, then I wouldn't do that. Obviously, I couldn't do that though anyway because I don't know anyone. But but if I had to try to pick someone specific, then it would most likely be like someone that's doing something that I love, probably like some actor or someone, you know what I mean? Like
that's interesting.
I would probably choose, someone who's, currently in like the MCU or something like that I already am in love with. So like, why not feel what it would feel like to be in the movie?
Okay.
So
yeah, no, I can feel you there. I have one that's similar to that. Yeah.
So like right now, the ones that I would love to maybe try to do is probably either like Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Okay.
Because of like Doctor Strange and stuff, or oh man, why can't his Bruce Banner?
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I kept
but like, here's the thing: if you choose him, like, you're not, he doesn't actually act out.
Well, I know he doesn't. Yeah, that's CGI and stuff like that. But like, I get to be in the movies that I know the Hulk's gonna be in.
Okay, all right,
and to be honest, like, I actually like just Bruce Banner. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's cool. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, too, even though now I'm thinking about it, it sucks that it's already been made. It just hasn't aired yet.
What?
Because like when he's Professor Hulk, he does act those out. They just put all the ball, the little CGI things on him.
True.
That still would have been fun. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
absolutely.
But now that's already been made.
And you never got to do the Avengers VR experience in downtown Disney.
No,
and they took it away.
They took it, yeah, I was so
you only have
disappointed.
my tantalizing stories.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that sounds so cool.
It was super cool. Okay, I can feel those answers. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, those like that would be the morbid one would kind of like be like, I wonder what that's weird. I know it's weird. I know it's gonna make me sound weird, but like it's just like one of those things where you're just like, that's I would never murder anyone, but like
But you want to know how the neck between your hands feels as you squeeze the life out of it.
See, but I didn't think of it when I was first thinking that's what I would be feeling.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to like, oh man, that would be weird to see that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, obviously, then if you're going to experience things to that extent, then it would definitely be the MCU actor, like some MCU actor right now.
I want to say there's a scene in Being John Malkovich where they mention the taste of something he was eating.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm going to have to rewatch this movie.
Me too. We talk about a lot of weird movies on this show. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for me, I have 2 trains of thoughts when it comes to this. 3, really. Number 1 is like, I really wouldn't want to do this because I'd be afraid. Like, you never know like what moment you're gonna walk in, and like, I don't want to become a voyeur in someone's intimate situation. I just don't want that. It just feels like such a violation of human privacy. Not into that idea. But since we're talking about like an ideal situation here, I am a little sad that I can't choose like a moment that's already happened, because if I could, I would choose the Metallica Live at Moscow concert in 1991, because that I think that was the first American concert allowed in Russia. Like,
oh, okay.
Of all, like since like God knows when, because of the Cold War and stuff. And I want to say something like it might have been 10 million people showed up. Like, wow. It was like an ocean of human bodies, dude. It was crazy. Let me see here. I'm gonna look it up real quick to see if I got it. Oh god, this whole thing's in Russian. Okay, I over exaggerated. It was 500,000 people. It was 500,000 a crowd though. Yeah. And they played really good at that show, because that was Metallica in their prime. And just like, I don't know, being through the eyes of James Hetfield for that concert, and like, playing just, the style of music that I like to play in my life, but to be able to like feel that in front of the crowd and the energy, and like, that would be amazing. But I can't choose that because that already happened. So I guess I would have to choose, because I would want to, like, what does that feel like to be on stage in front of that many people and like perform?
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the places my head went at. So like, I'm trying to think of like bands that really fucking jam.
I had thought
that
of
are
that
still
too.
around now.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it for the same reason. It's the
What?
Beatles. I would want to be like,
Oh yeah, sure. But I was trying to think, what's a band that's around now that really jams on that level and sells out crowds on that level?
I feel like a lot of what we listen to are like they're not playing currently.
Well, no, they are. They're just not. They're just older now, so like they're not jamming on that level, and the crowds are still there. But it's like, no, I want to kind of be there at the prime of the music. It would be cool to kind of like look through the eyes of like the guitar player for Baby Metal. That would be fucking cool.
Oh, for Baby Metal?
Because you get to shred, and then the fucking concerts are wild. They're like sold out. They're huge crowds. Like that would be kind of cool. Although I was looking for a frontman experience. I say the Foo Fighters, but unfortunately, their drummer, oh gosh, his name escapes me. It was Tyler.
You said he passed?
Yeah, he just passed. It was Taylor Hawkins, man. Taylor Hawkins passed, and that's sad. But so the Foo Fighters really aren't playing right now.
Yeah.
And then there's not a lot of bands that I love on the level that I'm trying to think of here. Because like Megadeth, they still play, and they're still pretty good. But it's like, I don't know, Dave's like 60 now. He's not on that level that he was back in the day. Same with Ozzy.
Does he? Ozzy stopped performing now. Right?
Dude, Ozzy has a new hit on the radio.
He does, really?
Yes, he's
Oh my
Ozzy
God.
fucking Osbourne, dude. He's one of the greatest to ever fucking do it. Like, people forget. People think he's some funny man. Like, he is. He is a funny guy. He's a legitimately funny dude. But dude's fucking incredible. An absolute musical genius. Like, I love Ozzy Osbourne. And I will be heartbroken when he does pass. But for now, I will say Dave Grohl, because, he'll never stop playing music, and I love everything he does. So I'll say the eyes of Dave Grohl when he's out front on stage doing it, like that would be awesome. The other thought I had was, I mean, I know you don't think I'm that curious a person, but I really am. Okay. And I'm very prudent, but I would definitely, whoever the president is at the time that I have this power, I would want the ability to just kind of slip in and see what the fuck, like what are the real opinions of the people, that are like, what are the conversations like? What are they actually focusing on?
I did have that same thought.
You know what I mean? Like what's going on in the day to day? You know what I mean? Like, and if I can slip in whenever I want, it's like, oh, you know what? The president was talking about this meeting coming up on this date. Like, I want to be in on that, so I'm going to pop some Benadryls and knock the fuck out and see what the fuck happened.
I know, right?
Like, I don't think I would be able to like do anything useful with the information necessarily, but like, it would be incredibly fascinating to know.
You did bring up something now when you were talking about the movie, right? Do you think that you would get, addicted to doing this, that imagine like you're probably ruining your sleep schedule because you're trying to sleep at times when you want to go and jump in on this.
The answer to that is probably definitely not, especially not with the Foo Fighters thing. Like, I would want to do it a few times, and that probably like, okay, well, like, I'm like, this about me, Tom. I am so wrapped up in like my life and like what. Like, I love my life. I love podcasting. I love D&D. I love the fact that we're making a fucking book now. I love all these new projects I want to work on. I love my family. Like, I barely, like, I don't watch things. It's not because I can't. It's because I rather do all these other things. Yeah. Like, nothing is going to take me away from that. Like, yeah, I want to check in on the concert, when I'm free every once in a while.
What about the presidency thing? Like
that would be a little bit more tricky because it's kind of like an ongoing developing thing. But I think like what would be cool about it is like if I told if I got like my fiance to believe me, like she would want to know like, oh, what happened? Tell me, like, and it could be like a thing, But no, I don't think so. I'm not one who's inclined to addictive behaviors, anyways.
I think, I understand that it would be hard to do that. Even like for me too, I'm a bit more curious, I think, and I would feel like I would get drawn like into an addiction of doing that, especially with the MCU thing. Like obviously, oh, cool, I'm in the movie, whatever,
right,
all this kind of stuff. But yeah, ultimately, unless like if my wife couldn't do it with me. I mean, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where then it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to, because like, a lot of things that I enjoy doing, it's not the same when you can't enjoy it with like someone you love or your friends or whoever, you know what I mean? So there's some stuff where like I'm just like, oh well, like if my wife can't do it with me, then I don't want to do it anymore, you know what I mean? So,
sure.
Yeah, I think that would be the saving grace of being able not to get addicted to something like that for me.
Yeah, that is just, it's the same person every time. Like, you're going to get bored of it no matter what it is.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I know. And you are right, because then you might be accidentally slipping into this consciousness when they're in the middle of doing something you just don't, you just feel like, oh, this is bad. Yeah. Let me wake up now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hopefully you didn't take any sleeping pills.
Oh my God.
You couldn't wake up.
What if something terrible befalls? Well, see, okay, maybe this is actually, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Something terrible befalls you and you fall into a coma, right? So you can't wake up. But at the very least, you do get to live vicariously through someone else for a while.
Yeah.
Because like if you never wake up, like, well, then it's either eternal unconscious slumber or at least some semblance of an experience.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I guess so. That would be weird. You know, it reminds me too, what is that, at the end of X-Men 3, is it? That when Professor X
wakes up in the body.
Yeah, but then, you hear his voice when he's in that unconscious man.
That
you know
was
what I mean?
Fucking weird movie. I hate that movie.
Yeah, I know.
X3
the only thing
sucks.
that I liked was that they did have a Juggernaut in there, but then I did not.
The worst Juggernaut you've ever seen in your life.
I did not like that version. I like the actor that plays him, but like not the not how they made him look.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm really curious now. Listeners, let us know who you would look through the eyes of and want to experience, different experiences maybe that you can't have in your life. We would really like to know that.
Indeed.
But dude, could you imagine? The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcast review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dudecouldyoumagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts until we meet again to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Only murderers know what it's like.
Only murderers know what it's like to murder.
Right? But you would think I mean, I don't know, but like it wouldn't work anyway because I don't know any murderers. I couldn't go to sleep and concentrate on I want to go into this.
Okay, well here's the thing. Okay, like what about murderers that haven't been caught?